Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, can you believe it? There's only 10 days until Christmas 2020, and we have a ton of stuff as we normally do on these Mando Mondays. Just a couple of notes up front. Today is Mando Monday. They released new merch on StarWars.com. We'll take a look there. We get a chance and see what's coming today. Heads up on the Mando merch is if you want to try to keep up with the figures being released, get out your wallet. Oh my goodness, they are releasing a ton of stuff and related to the Mandalorian. Some of it's repackaging, reboxing of old stuff, and putting maybe new cards on it, referencing the Mandalorian, but it's the same figures, same paint that was released previously. Hey there, James Floyd. Welcome. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's gone. Good. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate your support. Park Outdoors. Hey. Oh my goodness. You guys, fantastic. You all are here. So Mando Monday, we'll take a look at the merch. And we're going to talk about some of the merch as we go through the deep dive review. Other news, the big meeting that happened last Thursday, we haven't really dove into that here. A lot of folks have, and there's been a lot of discussion on it. Hey, Gray, Bert the Nerd, General Kenobi. Oh, we're honored with your presence. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. So that big reveal came out Thursday. Or the big news, the Disney Investor Day came out Thursday. We'll talk about some of those series as we go through the deep dive as well. Some speculation about what those might entail, what might be there, and maybe where it'll be set, what we expect. Give people's opinions as we go. Anthony is a fan of Star Wars. Here we go. We'll start right off here. As a fan of Star Wars, how do you connect Rangers of the New Republic and other seriously announced in the investors call? Oh, we're going to get there, Anthony. And in fact, the Rangers of the New Republic is the very first one that'll come up in our review today. So just so we can get there, let's go ahead and dive into this deep dive. Chapter 15, The Believer. And I put the picture of Din Djarin here because I believe that he is the believer that they're speaking of. Now, some of the speculation has been that perhaps the believer would be any of the other characters. There's a couple of them that come up. One of them being the guy, Bert's character. James Floyd, are you happy about Hayden being brought back? Oh, I'm absolutely happy about that, James. We'll talk about some of that when we get there as well. So first of all, let's take a look at the predictions that we had with Imagic Maker on Thursday, and take a look and see how well we did. So the main topic Thursday was who is going to join Din's posse. And we went through a list of characters, and a Magic Maker and I came through with, Mayfeld. Great. I saw a lot of people think that it is Mayfeld. I'm going to make the argument that it's Din, but Mayfeld fits the bill as well. Also, the Imperial guy fits the bill. So anyway, a Magic Maker picked Mayfeld, Shand, Fett, Dune, Karga. Great Karga would be part of the posse, or he would make an appearance, be part of the team in one way or another. We went out on a limb and picked some of Boba Fett's former bounty hunter friends, and picked Dengar, and a Magic Maker thought that perhaps Hondo would show up, and perhaps the X-Wing pilot. So not necessarily that they would join the team or be part of the posse, but they could make an appearance. So if we look at a Magic Maker's record here, he got 4 of them correct, and likewise got 4 of them incorrect. So he's 4 and 4. Oh, I went with Mayfeld, Shan, Fett, Dune. So those are the four that we got right. I also thought that it could have been Dengar, and I thought Rex could make an appearance. Now, my reasoning for Rex is that we saw Ahsoka earlier, and normally when we see Ahsoka, Rex is somehow involved somewhere, and I expect him to show up. Now, will it be in the next episode, 16? Maybe. So I'm going to keep predicting Rex just because the two of them are so tightly correlated. And until I see that Rex is passed or that he's somewhere else, I'll keep just throwing that one in there. And I also thought the X-Wing pilot. So likewise, I am 4-4 on my predictions there for who we would see join. And then we asked the question, would Din get a new ride? Would he get a replacement for the Razor Crest? Imagic Maker said no. I said yes. I still think the quad jumper that you see in The Force Awakens is a strong, likely possible candidate. But at this point, I've got some other thoughts, and we'll get there as we get into our deep dive. Maybe that will be a long time coming. We may not get a replacement ride for some time if the news of Boba Fett and being in season 3 and heavily featured in season 3 is true. Then Din may continue to Uber with Boba Fett, and he won't need his own ride. So that's my thought on that. And then the Jedi's response to Grogu's beacon. Would we see a Jedi respond in this episode? And both of us said no. So we were both correct on that. So that's sort of where we were on our predictions. And the reason I talk about Boba Fett in season 3 is the rumor that there was going to be a Boba Fett spinoff series. And that rumor was widely reported a lot of places. But in the investor meeting, there was no mention of a Boba Fett series. And supposedly that has already started production and more than a week ago. So if that is in production, why wasn't it announced? Surely it would have some hype around it, and they would have shared that. My thought is that with any kind of thing, when you're dealing with leaks and people releasing information out of the primary channels, lines can get crossed. And if somebody happens to see Boba Fett showing up in a lot of filming, maybe some additional crew members in the lighting or sound or whatever, they happen to see this happening, and they're saying, oh, well, Boba Fett series is started, or they see some early scripts that show Boba Fett featured in a lot of scripts, then it easily gets spun out some misinformation about a Boba Fett series. And if that was not announced, then there's one of two possibilities. They're holding it for some other release, and I honestly don't know what that would be. Or second, the leak was wrong, and I tend to believe that would be the case. So Din Djarin may not get a new vehicle for quite some time if Boba Fett is indeed featured heavily in season 3, and that's how that rumor kind of got spun up. So that's my thoughts there. Let me get caught up on your comments just so we don't get too far behind. Gray, I changed my mind. I think Ezra is going to be the Jedi. He comes up. I haven't changed my mind yet, Gray, but very good. Mark, I was a bit underwhelmed first watch, but second, third, fourth watches got better and better. Oh, Mark, I'm 100% with you, my friend. The first viewing and my initial reaction I gave Friday was, it was good, but maybe not my favorite. The more I watch it and the more time I spend with it, the more I like this episode. Chapter 15 is rich. It's rich with a lot of stuff. So definitely has raised on my list since I watched it the first time. I'm in complete agreement with you there. XR Kuhn, my theory of Mando and the spinoffs trying to be in 2023 movie was correct, but that was Taika's. But your RS, RS, I don't know what RS is. So I don't think we'll see Rex. Yeah, I only say that because I think when you see Ahsoka, you normally see Rex. So I'm gonna stay there until something comes the other way. So I'm willing to be wrong. That's fine. Mark, Josh still thinking Rogue One Squadron post the sequel trilogy. Patty's video and the logo showed the T-65 X-Wing, which is pre-sequel trilogy. First, a couple of notes about that, and thanks for bringing up the topic. The Patty Jenkins movie, Rogue Squadron, I'm very excited about. If you watched her little intro piece to it, where she's skating, and then she talks about her father being a pilot of a F4. Now, I was in the U.S. Army, and we used to get flyovers all the time during different ceremonies, and when an F4 comes overhead, you know it. Oh, they are loud. They will shake your bones. F4s are notorious for just how loud they are at height. I mean, when they fly over, it's different than any other fighter jet that you've ever heard. They're extremely loud. And her father piloted one of those, and she mentions that distinctive sound, and it's true. And then that he had died in service to our country, and that she always wanted to do something for him. That really excites me because she has that reverence. She has the desire to give some honor to her father and his service to our country, and here in the United States. For those that may not be here, but and then for her to be able to tie it in with Star Wars and just her track record with the Wonder Woman movies alone leads me to be very excited. Mark, I tend to agree that I don't know that it'll be post sequel trilogy. Most likely it's going to be concurrent with Mandalorian or just after. There's some evidence to say that it would be a culminating event that will come later. When they talk about some of the other series building towards a big ending, that could tie into Patty's movie. It could also tie into Taika Waititi's movie. Not sure on that. But yeah, I don't know that it's going to show up in the post-sequel trilogy either. Bounty hunters don't have friends except for Imbo. Right, I think you get what I mean. His kind of the gang that ran with Boba Fett in the prequel era. That's why we kind of went there. Add Rogue Squad to your posse. Yeah, Boober Fett. There you go, Mark. Good one. Yes, slow clap for Mark. Boober Fett. Mike Porter, I was wrong with all my predictions. Let's see. Get caught up. There's mixed wires going on. Yeah, I agree, Mark. Hey, Will Morgan. Hello. Welcome. Hawks Holocrons. Welcome. And hey, I saw Trinity in there too. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining in. My XRQ, my new posse is Rogue Squad, Fennec, Boba, Grief, the Rangers, Ahsoka, Ezra, and the 7th Fleet. That is a posse. And so you're going for the full-blown end game finale for the season, right? You're going to just all holds barred. Everybody shows up. I don't know. I'm starting to rethink this ending. We'll see. RS Rogue Squad. Thank you. There's Trinity. Will. There's Trinity right there. Could the Rogue Squad be in Mando? I don't think in season 2, Will. I think they could show up. And I saw where XR Kun was going there with them showing up in that posse. but I don't think so. Maybe they'll show up in season 3 or 4. Yeah, it has me excited. I'm excited too. Yeah. The North Force was a secret. Oh, yeah. And where's its alliance? Is it part of NATO? That's a good question. That's good. X-Wings and Mando feel like Star Wars chips. Yeah, that's funny, Mark. I think Rogue Squadron is going to be more like Strike Force. Yeah. And I saw Josh talking about that, where the X-Wing pilots we've seen are showing up, that it might be like that. I don't think so. I think Rogue Squadron is going to be something much different. Also, I'm not convinced that it's going to be a close tie-in to the video game. Certainly was inspired by the video game. It may have some tie-ins, but I don't know how tightly correlated it will be. Yeah, modern fighters could whoop any Star Wars fighter in space. It could be. I don't know. Bert the Nerd. Hey, well, appreciate you being here, just lurking in the back. Appreciate the support. I think Rogue Squad will end with the Battle of Jakku. Ooh, will it tie in there with Aftermath novels? Maybe. Yeah. In the air. Yeah. Not in space, but in the air. Right. How long do you think the last episode is going to be? It has to be at least an hour. Depends, James. I'm starting to get different vibes about the ending, and we may get something less than 50 minutes. I'll just tell you, the vibe I'm getting is that we're not going to get the major confrontation. And I don't know why. I don't have any solid evidence to just point at it, but it doesn't feel like we've had the proper buildup for a great big confrontation in the finale. I won't go into my full predictions until Thursday with Imagic Maker, but that's where my head is right now. And as those thoughts get more crisp, I'll share those Thursday as we go through our predictions. But I'm thinking right now that we might not get that. I just don't know that it's been fully set up well enough to have that much show up. So we'll see. Magic Maker, there he is, reimagining Star Wars. You guys check his channel out. I put his Discord in the description as well. So if you could find that, that'd be great. Well, Rogue Squadron in the finale would be interesting. It would be interesting. I just don't know where it would come from, and that's where I'm getting. Is like I don't feel like there's been enough setup that if Rogue Squadron is showing up all of a sudden out of nowhere, that's a little jarring to people that aren't connected to other content. Same with Grand Admiral Thrawn and his 7th Fleet showing up, right? There's a couple big problems with that have to be resolved before he can just show up. First of all, he's missing. Why? How did he get found? How's he leading the 7th Fleet again? Why are they here? If they're still looking for him in the epilogue to Rebels, then what's the deal? There's a lot to be resolved if all of a sudden just Thrawn shows up and the 7th Fleet. I think there's big issues if just Thrawn shows up, for Pete's sake. I don't know how Thrawn or Ezra can show up without some splaining going on. So, as Desi Arnaz would tell Lucy, Lucy, you have some splaining to do. That's exactly right. Oh my goodness. What if the fighters we saw were Rogue Squadron? Let's see. Wasn't the Leslie, what's her face? Leslie Headland, right? Supposed to be female centric. So the Acolyte's female dark side user. Yep. Hawk, you're onto it. And we've been talking about it some in Discord this morning as well. And I got into a protracted discussion in Star Wars Only's Discord on the topic this morning as well. If this Acolyte is supposed to be roughly 100 BBY before Battle of Yavin, right? A New Hope, 100 BBY, then we know Palpatine isn't on the scene yet, but Plagueis very well could be. Now, there isn't a lot established yet about Plagueis as far as canon, when he was born, how old he was, so on and so forth, who he was trained by. There's a couple of hints of it here and there. And it would tend you to believe that they might bring him in. And just seeing what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have been doing with some of the Legends material, bringing it in, let's go with the presumption that Plagueis is brought in more or less as he stands today in Legends. Then is there a problem with a female-centric acolyte of the Sith? And is an acolyte of the Sith equivalent to a disciple or a Sith apprentice? Is an acolyte and an apprentice equivalent? What is the relationship between this acolyte and Plagueis? Is there a relationship between this acolyte and Plagueis? Is an acolyte of the Sith even part of what we would consider to be the rule of two or anything like that? Could the acolyte of the Sith be part of, and I've seen this thrown out there, like Mother Talzin? Would she be called an acolyte of the Sith? Is she a practitioner of the Sith? Or is she just a dark side magic user? There are so many questions that we don't have answers to. And it goes back to this quote about the Sith being extinct for 1,000 years when we're in the prequels. If this acolyte of the Sith, or the acolyte is a Sith, and what evidence we have at this point would tend to say that, if the acolyte is a Sith, does it not put at least a little stress on that comment of the Sith being extinct for 1,000 years? Well, my position on all of it is I am excited to see how they address it, how they come up on it. And, Josh with the Den of Nerds this morning mentioned how they come in and say, figure it out, because these characters need to come in. This story needs to be told. Make it match. And my argument is all the way back in the original trilogy, we were dealing with them retconning comments from one movie to another so that the story could be told. And the prequel trilogy as a whole is a big, hot, boiling mess of storytelling, and it throws all kinds of problems into the original trilogy that then have to be kind of ferreted out and explained so that the story could be told. In this case too, when we talk about the acolyte, the story is going to be told, and let's see how they address it. I'm excited about it. I'm for a mystery thriller in the Star Wars space, and to involve an acolyte of the Sith, some sort of dark character, and that it be a female character. Sign me up. I'm in for it. I want to see it. Getting a crowd here. Oh, yeah, you guys, 17 people here. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. Let me see. This is, I got to wait. Oh my goodness. I have got to discipline myself here a little bit more. You guys are taking off with me. Maybe Rogue Squadron would be like Black Sheep Squadron. Oh, there you go. For those of you that aren't old enough, Black Sheep Squadron, ba, ba, ba. There you go. Mark Hamilton, certain nerd life. We get a climax ending at the Battle of Jakku. It'd be incredible. Yeah. There's a lot to say. Isn't Rogue Squadron a precursor to Red Squad? Oh, XR Coon. No, I don't think so. Din might use the Force in some way in the last episode. Lord Vito, I don't think Din is Force sensitive. I'll take big issue with Josh there. I know Josh is kind of projecting his wants upon Din Djarin. He wants Din to be Force sensitive so that Din can come back and be the Mandalorian and be a Force user, be a Jedi Mandalorian combination. So he's projecting that onto Din, and he's seeing what's not there. I don't think he's going to be Bert. Last episode will be 10 seconds. It'll be more than 10 seconds. Live action, you cash it. There you go. Reimagine. What do you think 2 animated 3 to 5 live action projects are? Oh, XR Coon, heard for a long time that Lucasfilm had 3 animated projects in the works. And in that announcement, I think they covered them. I know that there are folks out there still saying there are a couple others in the works. I'm totally in favor of it. But when you say in the works, and you talk about studios, that can be a whole lot of things. It could be some very early conceptual things. And so they've kind of put a pin in it, right? And so could there be some other projects in the works as far as there's a pin in it and they're kind of thinking about it? Perhaps so. But as far as actually like putting pen to paper and starting to animate some cells digitally, however that is these days, then I think they were announced. I don't know that there are any others at this point. Although, the search for Ezra Bridger that we had heard of, I don't know what happened to it. And if that's just going to get rolled into the Ahsoka series, then that would be interesting. Are we going to get a major cliffhanger this season? Yes, Mike, we are going to get a major cliffhanger. What will it be? I don't know. Oh, my goodness. High Republic books are out. Star Wars Explained says they're good. Very good. I haven't been able to keep up on some of that lately. Is Dave Filoni and the other pilots we see possibly rogue already then? I don't think so, Will. I don't think Dave and the other producers, directors who have shown up as X-Wing pilots in The Mandalorian are going to be part of Rogue Squadron. Yeah, I just don't see it. Yeah. Josh is dodging it. There's some things that with information that's coming out right now between that investor stream and what we're going to get in this next week in the Mandalorian season finale, that's going to hold Josh's feet to the fire, and I can't wait. Oh, that's going to be great. I got in a fight with the kids in Theories Discord last night. Boy, I've been arguing with somebody in Star Wars Only's Discord all morning. Yeah, the 7th Fleet is not a small amount of ships. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not a small amount of ships. And I don't think it's going to be happening either. Bad for theory. Yeah. There's some mess going on out there. Reimagining Star Wars, Imagic Maker. I think season 3 is the Boba series. Right. I think that's the cross lines. I think that the rumors of the Boba Fett series were just people seeing Boba Fett in season 3 filming or production of The Mandalorian. Yep. Acolytes of the Beyond. Oh, there you go. We're about really to find out who they are. That's right. Could be Acolytes of Beyond Aftermath series that worship Darth Vader. Could be. Very well could be. Although, if an Acolyte is 100 BBY, Darth Vader doesn't exist. Yeah. Just got notification. Star Wars Explained just dropped a video titled, read the first 3 High Republic books, and they're great. Oh, I am anxious. I'm signed up to check them out from Public Library when they drop. I'm excited about getting them. Some of Theory's crowd is not as knowledgeable. Yeah. The bigger the crowd gets, the more people come in and start to put things in there that just don't make sense. They're pushing agendas. There's some agenda pushing going on. I go High Republic and Rebels for sequel animation. Boba and Crimson Dawn and Mace for live action. Yeah, XR Coon. I think as far as ideas go at Lucasfilm, and there are several. We go back to oh my goodness. Did you list? No, there's another one in there for Darth Bane. He was heavily rumored as well. And I don't think that they don't exist, but I don't think that they're to the point yet of production, right? The Jedi could have just thought the Sith were extinct for 1,000 years. Not only could they just think that they were extinct, there could be an agenda to hide their presence. And we've known that Yoda purposely withheld some information at different points for his own reasoning. And until that's explained, Yoda would have been around during this time period of the Acolyte, and he may have his own reasons for not wanting to make public knowledge. And as far as like documenting it, being part of the Jedi archives, there were some Jedi archives that were not public knowledge. They were kind of restricted, like a restricted section of the library, and they would not have been for even all members of the High Council to be aware of. The Acolyte of the Beyond were worshippers of the Sith. I gotta get caught up. Exegol should have been Vader as heir to the Empire. I see. We're going to Magic Maker. Boba Fett series leak scoop stem from 2 reports. Yep, there you go. An Acolyte in Rise. Yes. Yep. Will, you're on the Acolyte of the. And it was in actually some of the Force Awakens materials supporting there as well. If the last episode is just a cantina, Lord Vito, oh yeah, great. Din is not Force sensitive. Exactly. It would be bad if he was. I agree. Exarchun, add the books to the Christmas list. Yes. Thrawn is back because Ahsoka asked where her master is located. I think Ahsoka's looking for him. I don't think that he is back as she's now, tracking him down. She's on this quest to find where he was taken and if he has reached out. So once he and Ezra were warped out by the space whales, right? Then she's saying, has he contacted back? Because if she can find Thrawn, she can find Ezra. And I think that's the case, not the other way around, right? Yeah. Now I see where you're going, right? There's people going this way, but if Ezra's still missing at the epilogue scene, and if the epilogue scene is after Mandalorian, it's got to be explained. Now, Gray, be nice. It's almost Christmas. But he's actually a nice guy, and he knows his stuff. He and Molly, may not be everybody's flavor, but they're decent. I'm going to skip this comment, Gray. I see where you are exactly. If Din is out of action, not on set for the start of season 3, and focus begins with Boba, could very much explain the leaks about Boba's series. Yes, could very well. Very well. Forgot about the Bane. Yeah. Yep. The Jedi were very proud and arrogant. It makes sense. Exactly. Josh's chat is not fun. Well, that's what happens is as a group grows, the dynamic changes. And I've felt the same thing, Gray. And I felt like I'm on the outside and no longer connected in the community. But I also understand what's going on, and I am truly appreciative of the work Josh is doing. So I feel you. After Nerd Theory started the live streams, oh yeah, Josh has been growing like crazy. 50-50 between Luke and Leia and Ezra. Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's get back into our review, guys. We've gone really long just trying to get caught up. I knew that would happen. So here's what I've been wanting to get to. So in the preview, we see Din catching up to Cara Dune. It's a recap, and he says, Cara Dune, Marshal of the New Republic. And then let's look at this Rangers of the New Republic description that we got from the release. It says, set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. So let that sink in. Within the timeline of The Mandalorian, this new live action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will intersect with future stories and culminate into a climactic story event. Might the climactic story event be our Rogue Squadron movie, and or possibly the Taika Waititi movie? I think that's where we're headed. And if that's the case, then the Rangers of the New Republic, I don't think Rangers and Marshals are the same thing. Cara Dune may become a Ranger, but I tend to think that this is going to be something else. something else, and we'll see how that plays out. Super excited about it. I am super stoked about Rangers of the New Republic and seeing this time era of the Mandalorian set between Rise of Skywalker and The Force Awakens. I look forward to this whole time era being fleshed out and giving us more context. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm looking for the sequel trilogy to get more backstory to make it fit in. I don't think they're going to retcon it out of existence, but I do think they'll retcon some of our understanding so that it fits well into the universe as a whole. And, you know, Josh had mentioned again this morning how there's a lot of stuff going on, and we've kind of mentioned it here. What about the Chiss ascendancy? And what's going on with the Grisk? That's another whole big ordeal going on. There are great big vast areas of the universe, the Star Wars universe, in this time era that are unaccounted for during the sequel trilogy itself. So with all of that story being told and kind of put out, I think that folks are going to be able to connect more with the things that they really like, and the things that you don't like as much, you just won't watch, or you just won't be as engaged in it. It's not going to be one of these where so much is riding just on one event. So there you go. Yep. And I see what some of you are saying. I love it. It's good stuff. I'm with you. So the show opens, and there's some of this information. I took some screenshots here just because as we go to this Carthon chop fields, right? The Carthon chop fields. These are New Republic forced labor camps is what they are. And it goes into supporting some of the stuff that we get later. You know, forced labor is typically not something that is embraced by free peoples. And even though you've got prisoners working in these chop fields, that doesn't necessarily mean that forced labor is accepted. And I've seen where people are trying to push back against, even here in the United States, where they use prisoners to do some work at very low wages. There's some pushback on some of that even. And that I thought it was very interesting that Mayfeld here is in a forced labor situation. And look, the robots overseeing them aren't messing around. This guy's got an electrified stick, and he needs to use it. And for those of you who want to win some sort of trivia contest later, Mayfeld's inmate number. You know this is going to show up. It was mentioned about 10 times in the episode. Inmate 34667, right? That's going to show up. And here's where I'm going to start mentioning. Pay attention to how much stuff you need to buy if you're going to be a collector of merchandise, right? Toys. Look at how much stuff they can add as items, toys, figures to buy. Look at this robot, for example. There's one, and there will be others. I will mention them as we go, and we'll tie that into our Mando-Monday discussion. All right, so inmate 34667 is in a forced labor camp, and they're chopping down some of the old Imperial remnant TIE fighters and stuff like that, and I imagine reclaiming the steel and stuff like that to reuse. And of course, Cara Dune comes and gets him, and you see Boba Fett come out in this brand new armor. So here you go again. Another thing to buy. You know that you're going to need the Boba Fett in his freshly painted armor. That's going to be a figure that's released and it'll be in the vintage collection, in the Black Series collection, in Hot Toys as well. Brace yourselves. Get your wallets ready, my friends. There's more to come. There's more to come. And so we do see them pick Mayfeld up in the Slave One, and off they go. And they tell him that they need him to get information from Moff Gideon. He goes, "Nope, I'm out. Take me back." And I wanted to highlight this comment. Cara Dune says they have his kid. we've talked about character development and how Din Djarin and Grogu have been growing closer as a father-son kind of relationship. And here we actually see Cara Dune say they have his kid, not that they have this, the child, or that they've got the little green guy that Mayfeld says, what, the little green guy? Yeah, the little green guy. So not that. Cara Dune says they've got his kid. And at the end, I highlighted it as well because Mayfeld says, good luck getting your kid. And so through all of this, you see that Din's relationship to Grogu, and even in Din's kind of final warning to Moff Gideon, he's essentially saying, you've got my kid and I'm coming to get him. It remind me a lot of the movies where I forget the name of the character now, but you guys will get it. You guys will get it. Let me get it caught up on some of your comments. I see them flowing in, and I just want to acknowledge and get here. Yeah, Mike. Gray, remind me not to get on your bad side. Yeah, nobody wants to be on Gray's bad side. She's a fantastic supporter. I love Gray, and her and I have had some conversations, some chats. She's wonderful, and not somebody I want to get in a fight with either. Lord Vito, I agree with you. The chat's too much now. Yeah, I'm chill back unless members only. Vito and Gray, I'm sort of with you guys. I've kind of checked out of the chat for the most part. Every now and then I'll put something in, but it's really tough. That's how I feel here. I came in with a ho, and Santa doesn't even say hello. Oh, Russell. Oh, Russell, my friend, I missed you coming in. Welcome. Good to see you here. And I have intentions to add you as a mod here at some point when I get the opportunity as well. Hawks Holocrons. Listen, Original Nerd Avenger still represent. Hey, yes, good to have you here, Hawks Holocrons. I do appreciate the support. You have to super chat it with Josh for sure. Yeah, Molly is not nice. No, you watch Molly on Twitter, and she's even more aggressive. Yeah, she is spicy. Yeah. Good for Josh. He deserves a success. Amen. I agree with that, Mark. He does deserve the success. After Dark, still chill. Yeah, those guys, they're on too late for Santa. That's way past my bedtime, but I do enjoy their stuff. Yeah, they're a lot of fun to listen to. I'm appreciative of Josh, all the work he did. It's just too crowded for long-term faith. Yep, you're right. If you want to connect to Josh, come to the members only stream. Yes, the Saturdays and Sundays, the weekend stuff are a great time to communicate with him. My problem is right now, especially, I am visiting with kids as Santa during this season, and during the day on Saturday, I am busy. And Sunday, I'm typically just coming out of church as he's starting his show. I think Rex is going to be one of the mains in the Rangers. Oh, very well could be Park Outdoors. We'll have to see. Polyhedral Paradise. Oh, hello, welcome. Mark, the Discord's cool for deeper discussions. Yep, I agree. But, Josh has pretty much checked out of the Discord as well. Tough to keep up with him. Yeah, KRT, we're batting hard for Rex. Yeah, KRT's been really, they're hit and miss. I think those guys kind of shot up too quickly. Some of their stuff has been spot on. They definitely have good connections, but some of their stuff isn't well vetted, and they're still holding on to some things. And I think they've kind of led Josh down a row where he's going to get burned a couple of times too. Enjoy getting to know people. Yes, we have built. Josh has done a wonderful job of building this community. He is doing great, and he has definitely brought us together to get to know you all and to have this community here supporting me. Huge credit to Josh, and he's right. I'm having a great time, and I think my content's getting better too. So it's great. Yeah. Who doesn't have an electric stick for use? Well, if you're around cattle farms, then you definitely have one. Got to meet Captain Pennsylvania at a football game. Oh, really? That's great. That is great. Oh my goodness. I am way behind. So let's see. Boba's battle damaged armor better. Yeah, but the collector's going to have to buy both. 2026 is where the big culmination series. You could be right. Yeah, take it with Liam Neeson. That's it, Mike. Yeah, I knew you'd get it. Yeah, it's hard to engage, but the content's great. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Creator of the Broke Avengers. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Blessing shots. I appreciate the small knit community here. I know, Russell. I know. You always do, and I can depend on that. And Mike, when you're not here, Mike Porter's in here. Give me a hard time too. So appreciate. That's good. Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about Boba's dent. Yeah, he didn't get that. He didn't get that dent ironed out, did he? Is that what jacked up his face? I don't think that's what jacked up his face. I think the Sarlacc was heavily involved in his face getting kind of jacked up. Probably some acid burns, scars from that. Let's see. Too broke to be a member. Yeah. I may have to eventually join you there, XR Coon. Just in personal life, Mrs. Claus is moving into another job, and she's taking a big pay cut with it. And so Santa's budget is getting tightened, and so I may have to join the broke Vengers here pretty soon. Santa came to our house the other night. But it's still awesome. Oh, that's wonderful. Reefer Man Reviews. I'm glad that you guys were able to get a Santa to come out and visit with your family. That's great. Yep. Yep. Carroty's still good. Yep. I agree. I like their stuff. XR doesn't stress that. Yeah. Yep. Dale, you just got here. Welcome. Has scheduled Jingle Ring. Oh, thank you so much. I am having a great time doing Jingle Ring visits, and if you would sign up for a Jingle Ring visit this coming, we've got 10 more days left, and then Jingle Ring is even continuing after Christmas until the first week of January. So it would be great to get some more visits from this community in here. Is Kyle Katarn? I think Kyle very well may, but he may be too inside baseball to be the guy. My money is still on Luke Skywalker. Yeah, Burke coming back from COVID. My brother did, and guys, actually this week, 3 days ago, we lost another Santa here close to me. Somebody who lives within about 20 minutes of my house. He passed away from COVID as well. A guy that I know and got to know, a Santa Claus, real bearded professional Santa Claus here in Central Ohio. Another good guy lost to COVID. Yeah. Yeah. Without Josh, we wouldn't have found each other. Right. I agree. Yeah. If I knew any children, I'd schedule one. I appreciate it. Yes, Gray. I am super excited. I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it. Boober Fett. I'm going with the Boober Fett. Thank you, XR. I look forward to being welcome. Boba Fett getting out of the. Oh no. That happens sometimes. XR Josh lumped everyone that isn't a Nerd Ventures Broke Venture doesn't realize some Broke Ventures are those who might be. So, oh, that's great. You guys are great. All right, let's get back to the content here. So again, I don't think it should be underestimated what Cara Dune said about having his kid. And that relationship has changed. We see them head out to this other planet, Morak, right? And there's this ex-imperial remnant at Morak processing Redonium, right? And it's highly explosive. And I love this line. And a lot of people, it wasn't until maybe the second or third time I watched it that it really, hit me as really funny. But several times through the episode, he talks about Cara Dune this way. He says it's highly volatile and explosive. Yeah, kind of like this one. Really good stuff where he's mentioning how Cara Dune is violent. That's great. And then there's a whole deal that happens about, and I took some of this. These quotes and to see if it gets any bigger if I switch. I want to just bring some of this so that you guys can read the full context. They talk about being able to scan a face. And basically, it's a negative scan, not a positive scan. So it's not a scan in such a way that it gives you access, but it's a scan in a way that would set off an alarm or deny you. So in that way, it's either like you're presumed to have access unless you are on a blacklist. That's typically what we call it. You blacklist something so that when you run a scan against it, it is denied. So that's the case here. And we go all the way through the different people on the team. And Din Djarin says, I'm going to go. They boil it down that he's the only guy that can make it. And so he has to volunteer to go. And then there's the concern about him being able to see his face. And that's this quote right here. So unless you're going to take off that helmet, he says, I'm going to have to go by myself. And that's, again, Bill Burke's character. So it says, or say goodbye to your little green friend. So at this point, Mayfeld is still calling Grogu the little green friend, the little green guy. So, Cara has already said your child or his child, and Mayfeld hasn't gotten there yet. But through the episode, we see it even develop further. And then there's been a lot of talk about this episode having a lot of exposition in it. And I agree that it was somewhat weighty, but in a very, very good way. And there's a conversation that Mayfeld has with Din as they're going down the way. And I went through and I got the entire quote here because Din has to go into this outfit. Now, again, get your wallets out because you're going to have Din in the Imperial armor at some point. That's going to be released as another figure to buy. Put it on the list. There's more stuff to buy. So he takes off his Mandalorian armor, puts on the Imperial armor, and tells Cara Dune to keep it safe. She takes it back to Slave One, and where he's able to change later. But it kind of prompts this whole discussion that then Mayfeld has with him about when you get desperate, your rules bend, and you have to bend your rules to accomplish the things. And he said you couldn't take off your helmet, but now look, you've got this stormtrooper helmet on. What is it? You have to have your Mandalorian helmet on, any helmet on. You just can't show your face. What's the rule? How's it go? And so Mayfeld's kind of challenging Den's thesis, his underlying code, and you see that there. And then there's he keeps going in the discussion. I took some of the discussion out of order just so you can kind of follow the logic easier. And then there's the discussion about the Empire and the New Republic, that being basically the same. And that's why I brought up the forced labor camp, right? The chop fields of forced labor camp that the rebels, not the rebels, the New Republic is running. Right, that forced labor, not a clean, nice, pristine environment at all, and somewhat even morally questionable to use forced labor. And here we're now on the Empire, some Empire remnant groups, and they are ruling people, forcing things as well. And there's been some talk of this girl perhaps being the character we see in Rise of Skywalker. Is this the same? Is it too intentional that they did her hair to match so closely, right? So it's possible we might get a backstory that this is her before she was recruited to be a stormtrooper. And then Din makes eye contact with this little guy here, and he kind of sees himself in there. And everything that Mayfeld's saying is kind of, hitting home and getting Din to really think about what it is that his life means. Keep in mind also what he's experienced with Bo-Katan and the Night House, and also with Boba Fett. These are each have rightful claims to their Mandalorian history or heritage, and he's holding on to these values where you have to keep your helmet on or you can't put it back on, right? That's what he said. What happens if somebody sees your face? He said that you could never put the helmet back on, and we'll see something happen here in a little bit that ties back to that. And then we get some great stuff here. Some pirates come along. Again, get your wallets out. Here's another vehicle to buy. Oh, you're going to need that. You've got some pirates here to buy. And then there's this nice little piece here of Din and this spear, perhaps some foreshadowing of him in the Beskar spear as well. And I love this scene here where you've got these characters jumping across. That's straight out of a graphic novel. Like that kind of picture is exactly what you would see in a graphic novel. I thought it was wonderful. Really, really got me. So let me just let me go back and get caught up on comments again, just so I don't, get too far back. Reefer, your boy's going to be 11 and he still believes. Something I've seen is been able to keep, kids as believers longer, being an authentic, real bearded, professional Santa. And it brings a lot of pleasure to be able to see that. Let's see. X-Side, that's broke. Yeah. X-Arcoon has to approve broke Vengers. Well, luckily I've already been pre-approved when I have to oh, polyhedral. That's funny. Anthony, okay, so you guys are going on here. Yeah, Ryan dropping the hammer on the spammer in the Den of Nerds Discord, or the Den of Nerds live stream chat. Yep, the guy just wouldn't leave it, right? Yep, two large YouTubers together. Yep. Preview of Indiana 5. Ooh, Will. There you go. There's one of your Easter egg contents. You might be able to put something together there. Oh, that'll be good. Yeah, the last. Yeah, just get caught up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, new rock stars. By the way, new rock stars, they've been putting out some really, really good content as well. If you haven't watched their channel, I'm a big fan of theirs. And honestly, Star Wars Meg has been giving me some of my favorite content lately. Okay, so we keep going. They get here. Again, I mentioned about keeping your wallets open. Here you go. Here's some more characters you're going to need. And we kind of had mention of these shore troopers before. Here you have them. There's, again, the Mando in that armor. You're going to want that. And then I thought it was funny. I was watching some Hello Greedo over the weekend, and he caught this part about them saluting with their left hand, but then caught in the footage that they were actually saluting with the right hand. It's just that it's flipped. So they had these guys lined up on the bridge, and they got the footage of them. And then for whatever reason, they decided this is the footage they wanted to keep. And when they did, they just flipped it to put them on the other side of the bridge. And so they're actually saluting with the right hands. This image that you see at the top right here, this image is flipped. And Hello Greedo caught that. I enjoyed when I went back and watched it after that. I thought that was really, really good. So there's that. So here we go. Din Djarin figures out that he's going to have to go in and get his face scanned, and he does. So he uses the helmet here. The helmet, it doesn't activate, and he has to take it off, and it scans his face. And he gets the coordinates of where Moff Gideon is. That's what he came for. And again, there's this nice little quote that says, if we don't get the coordinates, I'll lose the kid forever. This is Din saying that to Mayfeld. So you see just how much it means to Din that he gets that he reunites with Grogu. And he says that to Mayfeld. Mayfeld's starting to see, wait, this guy is willing to give up everything. These great big discussions that he had with him leading up to there, he is starting to see it here. Din is having to weigh out just how important is this to you. And as a result, not only does Mayfeld see his face, but also this guy here. So, and I thought I got his name on here somewhere. Nope, I can't remember his name right now. But they're talking to this this officer from the Empire who was involved in Operation Cinder. Now, if you haven't kept up with Operation Cinder, it's shown up in a lot of the novels. It's shown up all over the place within Star Wars universe. It's basically after the fall of the Empire, they went through and were, as Cinder kind of says, they were just completely incinerating planets and people, and they were just, it's a scorched earth kind of policy, right? So as you retreat, you burn everything down. The Russians did this really effectively in World War I and II, where the Germans were chasing them, and they would just scorch earth on their retreat so that the supply lines couldn't keep up. And then there's nothing there for them to get as far as food and water and housing. They're left completely exposed to the elements in it. They ended up dying in droves because they were freezing to death, starving to death. The supply lines couldn't keep up. And so the Empire was basically doing this with Operation Cinder. They were going and just completely obliterating planets as they retracted. And this guy was responsible for one of those. And as he's going through the recounting of it, Mayfeld's getting more and more upset about it, right? And it says, the New Republic's in complete disarray, and we grow stronger. I mean, the remnants of the Empire. And Mayfeld's getting more and more upset. And he says, with the Rhydonium you delivered, so we can create havoc that's going to make that incident with Operation Cinder pale in comparison. Everyone thinks they want freedom, but they really want is order. And Mayfeld's had it, and he blasts the guy. I thought that was a great effect when you freeze frame it. Just a wonderful physical effect that they had there. And then they start to go at it. And Mayfeld says, look, I never saw your face. And a neat little thing here, not only does Mayfeld hand him the helmet, but he turns his head away and says, okay, from here on, I'm not going to look. We're back on track. And Din puts the helmet on, and they lay waste to the place, absolutely destroying everything. So at this point, there's only one person who's ever seen Din's face, and that's Mayfeld. And remember, Din had this absolute code that said if he took the helmet off as his face was seen, he could never put the helmet back on. And he does put the helmet back on. So later, again, a couple more characters that'll be reboxed for you to buy. Oh, these existed back from the original trilogy, but now you get to buy them again after they show up in The Mandalorian. This episode was an expensive episode from a collector standpoint, let me tell you. And then Mayfeld lays waste to the facility by blowing up that Rhydonium that they collected. right? Not only are you not going to be able to use it, but I'm going to use it to destroy you. Kind of turns the tables on him. And then we get this scene here that everybody's kind of jazzed about when the slave one goes, releases that charge, and you get that that shockwave boom from the prequels that is so iconic to Star Wars and the prequel trilogy specifically. So great callback, great use of that shock grenade there. All of that worked really, really well. And then here we go. There's Din wearing his helmet again, and they have this discussion, and you can see here's the quote, and I put on here. Mayfeld says, "Good luck getting your kid back." Your kid back. So now Mayfeld has gone from calling him the little green guy, right, like his pet or whatever, to say, and now he recognizes it's his kid too. Once he saw what Din was able to sacrifice for keeping his kid. And so two references in this show at the beginning and the end that show that Din's connection to Grogu is much more than where it started. Even the responsibility that Din felt mid-season or beginning of this season has now developed even further, where those who are in the know recognize that this Grogu is not a casual relationship. This isn't a responsibility of Din's. It's his kid. He has a much deeper connection. And even Ahsoka said as much, right? You have a very deep connection. And we saw this father-son bonding that they had. Oh, we've got some stuff here. Vito had to go. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What do we got here? Yeah, speaking of Night Owls, brand new Bo-Katan Black series coming to pre-order today. I've got that up. We'll catch a little bit of the Mando-Monday merch here in a little bit. I wish the explosives were more colorful like in the other shows. Huh? They do a really good job. Yeah, I get your point, but I thought they did a great job. Lord Vito had to go. Facts. XR Coon. Where was it? Yeah. Where is it? Facts. XR Coon. That's what I was expecting when they said it was Radonium. Oh, yeah. Is Will the Easter Bunny? Well, I can tell you that the Easter Bunny does work for the same people that Santa does. And Santa's youngest daughter makes appearances as the Easter Bunny at some local malls and stores and private events. There you go. Yak Face leaked the stormtroopers would be back. Yep, good to see that. Right, the shore troopers. Right, the pilot helmet. I love how uncomfortable Din looked with the helmet off. Exactly, like first time in his adult life he's exposed. Just how uncomfortable he was, and the decision that he just had to come to face with, and to terms with, he's having to weigh what am I going to do? It really shook him to his core. You could see it. I thought they did great. Yeah, the seismic charges. There you go. Is Mando force sensitive? No. Nope. He's not. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Sean, there's a good chance of that making sense. Net Kara being a marshal of the New Republic now should report Gideon's existence to the Republic, and they should be dispatched, not just. Well, that's a good point, Polyhedral Paradise, and it gets to what I was talking about. Let me kind of finish here, and I'll try to come back to this point just as we finish our deep dive. So this is where Din records that message back to Moff Gideon, where he quotes Moff Gideon's words back with a slight little twist, right? And this is absolutely the Taken kind of vibe you get, where he says, "You have something I want." You may think you have some idea of what you have, but he means more to me than you can understand, right? So Din is using that same thing, and what he means is that he's he's my kid, right? He's my son. I love him. He's part of my family. He's not something to be possessed. He doesn't have great value to me as far as his commodity. He means much more to me than you could ever understand, because Moff Gideon doesn't have that kind of thing. That's absolutely right. And then, of course, the concept art. I've picked the concept art out. There's some great stuff in here. You can see where things kind of turned between the concept art and how it was executed in the show. I love Cara Dune and oh shoot, what's her name here, being back to back fighting. That didn't actually happen, but wow, what a great piece there. And I never noticed this vehicle on top of the ship. I don't know that happened. But again, just great stuff. And there's been some talk here how this guy on this, the piloting the skiff here that the pirates were on, that's actually Poe Dameron, the actor there. And I had his name right before I said it, but there you go. So that's the episode breakdown. And so I want to just briefly, before we get into Thursday and our predictions for the episode, I just want to kind of touch base on again. I don't know there's been sufficient setup for a great big confrontation in the end. I just don't see it. There are pieces being put in place, but they're not there yet. And polyhedral paradise, like you mentioned, Cara Dune should report back to the New Republic what she's found about Moff Gideon, and the New Republic should send some forces. That absolutely should happen, and it would explain how we would end up getting like Rogue Squadron there. But that's tough because it hasn't happened. And are you going to be able to carry that out in this finale? Or might the finale be about them assembling and the cliffhanger be sort of that at the end of the one Rocky movie, you see him and Apollo Creed punching each other simultaneously, and it cuts at the end of the movie. So it might be that kind of thing where it ends where they're coming together, boom, cut. So the next episode might be the kind of culmination of setting it up. I see Din going back to tell Bo-Katan, and hey, we need you. I've got to go get my kid. I could see Cara Dune calling in New Republic and saying, hey, Moff Gideon's out here. He's causing trouble. We've got to go, round them up. We could see them reaching out to some of the additional parties like Ahsoka and to come in. And at the end, rather than being the reveal of where I've been thinking about the reveal of the Jedi responding to Grogu's beacon, it could be that everybody's showing up for the battle, and that's where it ends, and it leaves us hanging. And so I expect the next episode is going to be our full setup, and we'll talk more about that later. Yeah, Oscar Isaac. There you go. You got it. Yep. Yeah, just getting caught up. A Rex sighting would be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to keep holding that in there until he does, or we get evidence that he's somewhere else. Yes, Mark, I saw you posted on Discord. You sent it to me too. That back from the 80s or 90s, the big tracks, the big track transport that you could buy. It was a big vehicle with the multi wheels. Looks very similar to what we saw here. Yeah, Din's repeating, yes, word for word, different meaning. Moff totally understands it. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Din is putting the gauntlet down. I'm coming, and I think Moff Gideon fully gets the weight of that. Yeah, they're not taking the remnant seriously. Okay, I want to jump in here real quick at the end, and show you some of the Mando-Monday merch. And let me drop this over so you guys can see it. The Mando-Monday merch, I talked about how much money you're going to have to spend. There's a lot of money coming out not only for the season 2 of the Mando with all the stuff we showed today, but this Black Series Bo-Katan that's coming for pre-order today is brilliant. Oh my goodness, the resemblance to Katie Sackhoff is tremendous. They did a great job. You can't even see it. They're not going to let us even see it here. You can see it on Yak Face on Twitter has released the pictures of it. It looks amazing. And here's what I mean about repackaging things. So here you get the Black Series. This is an archive. They said the Black Series archive Tusken Raider with the presence of the Tusken Raider and with again, you get the Jawas and things like that. They're going to be re-releasing these other characters just in new packaging or with even the same packaging, just a re-release. And then with the Black Series as well, you get the Shore Trooper from this season. You get this hover tank driver, and then you get the Imperial Death Trooper. So there's 4 Black Series figures just this week alone. And then again, some building of things that we've seen in previous week, the augmented reality stuff, other items that we've seen before. So we have 4 Black Series figures released later today, all for pre-order, and expect those are going to be hot. This Bo-Katan one especially. Good luck, my friends. And I would not even try Hasbro's site. We've talked about this. Don't do it. If this is important to you, it's something that you really want in your collection, I would go straight out to some of the other sites and try to purchase it from other vendors. And I keep forgetting the name of it. Mark, you'll post it here in a second. There's a site that the alternative site for ordering products from. You put it on here. XRQ. What's the stream about? We'll circle back. I'm waiting for Mark to tell me. It's I always want to say nerd, but it's not nerd. It's Dorkside Toys. Dorkside Toys. I would look them up and go to Dorkside to get your Bo-Katan Black Series figure. It is a brilliant figure. It's absolutely something worth having in your collection. If you're a collector of series, it is absolutely perfect. I would definitely do that. I would not even try to get it from Hasbro's Pulse site. It's not going to work. Oh, there you go, Mark. Let me see if I can highlight that. So yeah, he put the link to Dorkside Toys right there. That's what you're going to want. XR we went into the full detail on the deep dive for chapter 15. You have to go back and catch that. I thought you were here. So there you go. But today is Mando-Monday, so I did want to talk about the merch release today. We talked a lot about the movies as well. So, guys, I've gone really long today. Again, I knew there was a lot to cover. And this Friday is our season finale for The Mandalorian's Chapter 16. On Thursday, Imagic Maker from Reimagining Star Wars, and I will be doing our full predictions. I've kind of given you a preview of where my head is on it and what we might see. And so I've just got to put that together for our discussion on Thursday. Tomorrow, I've had this box sitting here. Oh, it's kind of wonking out because of the blue screen. I've got this order. I've got a toy in here. And I very much want to do an unboxing and toy review. That needs to happen. So we'll try to get that done tomorrow, if at all possible. And until then, today, 4 p.m. If you want that, if you really want that Bo-Katan, you're going to have to be there. Yeah, Mark, you're going to have to be quick on the trigger. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Look it up on Dorkside Toys and have everything ready to go. And good luck. Be curious to see how well people do at getting that today. again, thank you all for being here today. It's been wonderful. We've had just a fantastic chat. We've had great participation, wonderful support. I truly, truly, deep of my heart, appreciate it, and I enjoy these discussions that we have on Star Wars. And so until next time, my friends, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.